The Yanks are in a little bit of a mess here going into the season because they don't have a clear defined starting shortstop. Their starting rotation, which was supposed to be the best in baseball going in, been hit hard here. They don't have a center fielder. Judge moving around to left field. What's your feel now? Less than a week away, Keith, from the games that actually count with the Yankees and the Mets getting their openers underway next Thursday. How are you feeling about your Yankee team, especially with Volpe going deep again today?
I mean, pretty good. And we're definitely going to talk about Anthony Volpe, but I've been saying let the hype die down, right? There's always all of this hype on both sides. Subway Series, World Series, the Fall Classic is going to be Mets versus Yankees. And then we, fall into injuries, which happened. Reese Hoskins just went down. Obviously, we know about Edwin Diaz, and you know about Carlos Rodon and Harrison Bader and whatever.
What happened with Diaz, by the way? I mean, you didn't see.
We're going to probably get to it at some
training?
point. We're going to probably get to it as you're wearing a WBC hoodie today.
You see my new hoodie, Keith? Look at that. Yeah, I made this myself.
I didn't see any of those on MLB.com, though.
No, it's not on MLB.com, although maybe I'll start my own website and sell this. So, WBC, Worthless Baseball Classic. I figured.
Is that a 101? Or are you selling those?
101, baby. 101. As of now, 101.
I'm good, man. I'm always excited. I'm always excited to get back into Yankee Stadium 1, reconnect with the fans, the bleacher creatures, the security guards, the bartenders, the season ticket holders.
You have season tickets or no?
Never needed them.
Okay.
Always either figured out the ticket game or had a friend with an extra ticket or bought tickets early, and now I'm blessed. I'm on WFAN. I'm season credentialed. Like, I can go in through the press gate if I don't have a ticket, and people are nice, and we have a sales team with tickets and all that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But what I am worried about is Anthony Volpe and if he'll be on the opening day roster.
Who do you want? You want Volpe or Peraza?
I think it's done. I think after you saw him hit another bomb today, he's got more home runs than Judge in spring.
So
he's got to out-homer Aaron Judge to make the team. Like,
last year, watching Peraza when he came up, I was like, this dude is the shortstop. Like, you could see it definitively, defensively. He is a clear-cut shortstop. And I thought going in that would be the case, but Volpe has earned it in spring.
Well, I mean, you had to watch IKF last year.
Right.
So when you go from watching IKF to watching Peraza, it's like watching Zach Wilson and then watching Mike White.
Right.
Oh, this guy's got it. He's pretty good, huh? He's just an upgrade to what you were forced to watch. Now, Anthony Volpe, who was given an opportunity to win the job in spring training, he didn't lose the job. He won the job, and he performed better than guys that are making millions on this team. So the last few weeks I've been saying they won't do it, right? Because the business of the Yankees, service time, manipulation, another year of control. He's got to graduate from AAA. No. That's done now. That's done. Peraza didn't hit in spring training. IKF is talking about putting on catcher's gear. So here we go, the AV era. It begins. Anthony Volpe better be on the opening day roster as soon as it comes out. There is no calling him up in a month. He's 21. He'll be 22 in a month. It's time for this young guy to get his opportunity to be the shortstop of the New York Yankees.
I'm excited to see him, and I thought ultimately it would be Peraza at short and then eventually Volpe at second. You know, obviously the Yanks have Glaber, and they're still sticking with Donaldson, and what about LeMahieu, because you got to work his bat in there. And look, the Yankees will be fine. We're not going to overreact to even some of the injuries, as I know Rodon, I guess, threw a bullpen today and looked really good. They say they expect to have him back early May. That combined with Cole, all right, you got that great 1-2 punch, Cortez, Sevy, whatever, even though Sevy didn't have a good spring. I still look at them going into the season a little bit of a mess because of the old Yankees, Keith, back in my day. They used to go get a shortstop. What's this nonsense of trying to find a shortstop?
Those days are gone.
Or even the outfield. Cashman himself said it after last year, we need a left fielder. They didn't get a left fielder.
What he says and what they actually do, it's two different things. I'm tired of what they say and what they do because they say a lot. And with these prospects, right, from Greg Bird to Miguel Andujar to even Gary Sanchez to Clint Frazier, Chance Adams, you can just keep throwing out names of prospects that they failed to bring up and turn into pros.
Even Glaber, disappointing,
even
right?
Glaber, who is,
Florial and Duhar, all these guys, that you mentioned. But Glaber he's supposed to be one of the best young players in baseball. He hasn't been that.
And if you plan on trading him, his value now is less than it was before. And it's kind of like they're seeing it through. They're sticking with him. They let him go to the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, sure, go do your thing. Because we've got plenty of infielders in case you get hurt. But the thing is, Anthony Volpe was told, hey, you have an opportunity to win this job. There was a story that Michael Kay told about his dad telling him, hey, shut it down after the season and rest. Michael Volpe told him, you need to, take some time off because I'm sure he sees his son as a tireless worker. And the next morning, 5 a.m., he hears his garage. His son is driving away. And and he calls him, hey, where are you going? I'm going to work out. Brian Cashman said I have a chance to win the shortstop job. So we worked all winter. We're seeing exactly like what the guy is. He can not just is it shortstop, the position. He can hit for power.
Right.
He's got speed. He steals bases. And he's a local guy. He's a New Jersey kid.
Well, who cares where he comes from as long as he produces? You care about that? I mean, you get into
well, that goes right back into the World Baseball Classic.
I don't care where they come from.
I listen to your show, Sal. I listen to your show. I know you don't care where players come from, but I do because I am a Jersey guy and I am a Yankee fan. And the same way that he was born into like Yankee fandom, he's living the dream that we all had as kids. He is actually the guy. The young kids say he is him. Anthony Volpe is ready. And if the Yankees want to make back-to-back mistakes on opening day, like last year when they decided to let Aaron Judge's contract extension information out there and kind of sour opening day a little bit, make the mistake and not have Anthony Volpe on this opening day roster and see how the fans react to that.
Yeah, I'm not sure they could do it at this point with all the other things going on. Think about this. So the Yankees, who used to operate better than everybody else and win at all costs. And I'm not saying they don't try to win at all costs now, but it's just not the way that it used to be. Had they need a shortstop in the past, they go out and get the best one. There were guys available that they could have gone out there and spent, whether it's last year, this year, whatever. Okay, don't do it because you like the prospects. Fine. Don't get a left fielder. Now they may have to move Judge to left field. They lose their center fielder. They're trying to take their failed shortstop from last year and put him in center field with ICAF. Like, this is not Yankee-like to me. And let's just say that best case scenario, they go with Volpe, great story, local kid, all that. Maybe he is him and he becomes the next Jeter and all that stuff. Okay, well, what about the rest of the team? I mean, and by the way, Volpe, we don't know if he's going to produce. It may be a great story that he produced in spring. What happens if he struggles? And what happens that they have now a hole in center field or a hole in left field on top of the rotation? Yankees right now, I don't feel like, Keith, they're built right now to go out there and be better than the Astros or win a World Series.
No, I'm not saying that. Someone asked me for a hot take today as I was watching Tiki and Tierney on Twitch in the chat. I said, here's a hot take. Right now, the Yankees don't look like a World Series team. So stop. Let the hype die down. Let them get healthy and build towards a championship for once. The whole object here is to be healthy and playing your best baseball going into this crapshoot of a tournament in October. But if you want excitement, if you want the fan base behind you, press the AV button, start the AV era. AV is Anthony Volpe. We just need him to change his jersey number from 77. I can't do the Clint Frazier 77. Right. It's too soon, and it doesn't look right. And this guy is going to be a star for a long time. Give him Brett Gardner's number 11. This guy is another superstar that the Yankees found. You made a mistake with Judge, and you ended up costing yourself $150 million signing your own guy. Don't make the mistake with this kid. Start him now, get in front of it, maybe extend him when the time is right, and you have your shortstop that young fans can literally watch his whole career in pinstripes for the next 15 years.
You hope. And I saw, you mentioned Brett Gardner. I saw a tweet, I think it was from Brian Hoke, who covers the Yankees from MLB.com, that the Yankees haven't had a rookie in their opening day lineup since Judge in 2017. Before that was Gardner. What year was Gardner? 2008? Yeah, okay, well, whatever. It was a while ago. I forget the exact year that he had. So it is exciting, right, to think about seeing a rookie in the opening day lineup that you can anticipate watching.
Man. Give us the juice on opening day.
Now we're talking about one team that is not really built to win the World Series, and another team in town, Keith, might in fact be built to go win a World Series, and that is the New York Mets, who also not wrapped up, but Max Scherzer wrapped up. You had Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yanks today. He wrapped up his spring, and you had Max Scherzer wrapping up his spring as he was officially announced the opening day starter. Look, I mean, this to me is what it's about, right? For both these teams with the expectations, whether it's Cole on the mound, whether it's Scherzer on the mound, Verlander loaded up. And I know we said the Yankees are a little bit messy. The Mets less messy, but they did have the bigger impact injury, losing Edwin Diaz for the season. That's going to hurt them, no question. But I feel good about both these clubs, specifically the Mets right now going into the season. I'm not worried about the limited at-bats with Alonso or McNeil. I don't think the Mets are worried about that, or even Narvaez, who happened to homer today. I think they're going to – I'm ready for a big season for the Mets as well, a legitimate season where they can go win. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm not going to predict that. But that's the expectation going in for really both these teams, regardless of what the feel is right now whether the Yankees are a little bit messy or the Mets have lost Edwin Diaz.
Have no fear. Buck is here. Merry Buckmas. You got the guy, right? That's your man.
You want one of those hoodies? I'll get you one of those.
No, I don't need any hoodies. I know Paulie came out like,
Get a t-shirt.
It's getting warm. We don't need any hoodies. I'm trying to get into the spring, summer weather. But
right.
you have the adult in the room, right? You have a guy that's super prepared.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get you a onesie,
everything.
a baby onesie pretty soon, maybe. We send some Met stuff over.
Imagine me posting my son with a worthless baseball classic onesie fresh out of the womb.
Even I think that's too strong.
Hates it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No, I got to give the kid a shot in life. I got to give him a chance. But I trust that Buck is prepared. Something I said when Edwin Diaz went down and I got on air was, do you think that Buck Showalter is throwing the season away because he lost his closer? No, it could be closer by committee. The Yankees are probably going to be closer by committee. They don't necessarily have a closer either. But you know what the Mets have? They've got a ton of energy around this team, right? I love the new promos. I saw the food rolling out.
Yeah.
The fans are going to pack that place. You have the richest owner in sports, arguably the best owner right now. He was just on Joel Sherman and John Heyman's podcast. I'm like, this guy does podcasts?
Yeah.
Like, that's great.
Great guest, awful host.
Buck Showalter is going to steer the ship. You've got Justin Verlander. People, I think, aren't talking enough about Justin Verlander, and Yankees fans understand who exactly Justin Verlander is. He's a lock. He's solid. Maybe not so much in October. He got over that hump this past year, but you can count on him whenever he's taking the ball.
Now, some of the debate that you and I have had on different shows, right? You do your show, I do mine, of course. Some of the debate that we've had where you were saying like you didn't think the Yankees should go get, or maybe didn't want Scherzer or Verlander. You prefer Rodon, let's say, over either of those two?
No.
Okay, so you would rather have, well, because the
Yankees should have had Justin Verlander two different times.
So you should. They should have and could have had him.
Maybe he didn't want to be here. I think both of those guys. I think neither one of those guys wanted to put on the pinstripes. But there's something about Steve Cohen, and I don't know. He must have Lucky Charms in his back pocket. Something to sway these guys. Nah, he's rich, and he makes these guys ridiculous money that they can't refuse. Offers that they can't refuse. So they become Mets, and I think those two together. They talked about how they're going to work together differently than they did when they were on the Tigers and knocked the Yankees out of the ALCS. These guys are going to be pros. They're going to set the example. They're going to lead. There were times last year where I felt like, with DeGrom not being there, they could have used DeGrom around.
Right.
And then he was around in the dugout and stuff. But, like, Scherzer's the guy that you look at and you're like, this guy's crazy. He's out of his mind. He's competitive. He wants to win. And it raises the compete level. These guys will raise the compete level. Lindor is coming off of a pretty impressive showing at the World Baseball Classic.
Right.
He reminded everyone watching that he's one of the best shortstops in the game.
Hope he plays as hard next week when the games don't mean nearly as much. I mean,
well, he will because there's going to be a bunch of Puerto Ricans in Queens at the game waving Puerto Rico flags.
By the way, one thing I do love, and obviously I agree with Scherzer and Verlander more than just what they do on the mound, their attitude. That's one thing I love about Garrett Cole, but also Rodon coming in here, wanting to be here, being passionate. Yes, I love that.
Not
embracing potential boos. Guys like us getting on them after they don't perform to the highest of levels. That's what we do.
Even when he gets hurt, he's like, I'm here to pitch in October. I'm not here to pitch in April. Like, he understands the big picture. He understands that this is New York. These are the Yankees, and it's about winning championships, and we got to get back to one.
And look, maybe to get to October, although the Yankees get there anyway, they do need Rodon to get healthy, which hopefully, as we said before, could happen as early May. 877-337-6666. Kevin and Comac. Kevin, what's your issue with us already? We just got started.
No, it's okay, two things. I agree with, yes, Volpe should be on the roster. He's earned it. I guess my two issues are this. You guys are talking like the Yankees are a 70-win team.
Who said that?
I mean, you're no, you didn't say it, but this one, that one, this one, that one. Like, IKF, what did he do wrong for you guys to make comments like that? He's
a non-factor at this point. No one's talking like they're a 70-win team. If they were talking about the Yankees, or if we were talking about the Yankees like they're a 70-win team, then there's no excitement for the season. Why even watch?
No, but I've listened to all the comments about IKF. Like, Keith, I listen to your show all the time, and you're great. But you said, well, you made a comment offhanded, like, he's playing center field. He's doing this, he's doing that. The reason they're doing that is to try to increase his trade value.
No, the reason they're doing it is because he failed at shortstop.
He doesn't matter. He literally does not matter for the team.
How did he fail?
Did you watch the games last year? He wasn't any good.
Yes. Okay, but let me ask you a question. Who else was going to play short that was going to be light years better than him, number one? Yes, it may have been a bad mistake to re-sign him at $6 million.
Kevin, at the end of the season, Oswald Peraza was not on the ALDS roster. They had to put this man on the ALCS roster because they had to go away from IKF. They forced him in that position the whole season, right? Because they're going to stick to the guy that they traded for. He was traded twice. They made us watch IKF kick balls, boot balls. The easy routine ground ball was not easy for this guy. That was the guy that they chose after the last 2 years of the best shortstop classes in the offseason we may have ever seen. We're done.
Right.
The stopgap option, there is no more gap. You can stop that. Now it's time for Anthony Volpe. Why are we even calling up to talk about IKF?
IKF, I don't understand it.
WTF.
Exactly. If you watched IKF last, I saw immediately. Now, I'll admit, I was not familiar with IKF prior to the Yankees getting him. It's not like I'm breaking down.
He was all right in Texas.
Okay, whatever.
Playing third base.
Right, so you want to go glove at third base, right? That's the extent. And maybe you see a little bit of him, but you don't really know. And then you're hearing this great defense and he's going to play short. And I watch him the first game I'm watching him, I go, this is not a great defensive shortstop. Whereas Peraza, immediately you see it with him defensively.
Sal, it's the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees. Playing shortstop for the New York Yankees is a marquee position in all of sports. And the New York Yankees decided to force Isaiah Kiner-Falefa on us for a whole season.
That's Cashman.
Exactly.
That's on. And they admitted their mistake way too late, to your point.
Exactly.
They brought Peraza up. That
so
shows
that's
you.
done.
Right.
And now, if they're trying to trade him, what do you expect to get for IKF? Raise his value by putting him behind the plate, put him in center. It does not matter. This team is moving forward, and I'm excited about Anthony Volpe getting the opportunity to start on opening day. It's about him now.
John is in Corona. John, you have an issue with Keith?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Keith, Jesus Christ, man. Can the guy play one game before we have him extended? I mean,
Volpe,
not for nothing.
Who are you talking about?
Hey,
Volpe.
well, save this call. He will be a superstar in this league. He can play one game. He can play one more spring training game. We all know what he is.
Keith, we can't take anything you say with the Yankees serious, man. You will shill for anything they do.
Are you a Mets fan?
I'm a fan.
Are you a Mets fan, John?
Of course I'm a Mets fan.
No,
Yankees
John,
fans,
come on,
Yankees
get
fans
outta here.
understand what Anthony Volpe is. He's one of the top prospects. The kid is a lock, surefire. Can he play one game before we extend him? The only reason I'm talking about an extension is because of opening day last year. We heard about a $237 million extension for Judge. And that kind of soured opening day for Yankee fans. And even the start of the season for Judge, where some Yankee fans actually booed him. I'll tell you this. If Anthony Volpe is the starting shortstop and he struggles, there's not going to be boos for that kid. He's one of us. He's one of our own. We're going to pick him up. We're going to lift him up. We'll be patient with him. And this guy is going to put in the work to be a star in this league. He will be a Yankee, and I hope that they extend him, and there isn't any nonsense with him ever going to free agency.
See, I feel like, Keith, if you were shilling for the Yankees, you would have
That's
said...
just some people like to say. They call the radio and say that type of stuff all the time.
But if you were doing so, you would say that IKF was great and all that. Like that to me, because you think Volpe might be a star, I don't think that that's shilling. You know, people are weird too, because same thing like I'll get sometimes with the Mets from a Yankee fan. Oh, you're just a Met fanboy. No, nobody rips the Mets as much as I do. When they're good, like I thought they were last year, I'm going to pick them to win the division. And look how that turned out, of course. But it's not. We're not shilling. You have to believe in something.
How can I be a shill for the Yankees when we don't even know if they're going to put Volpe on the opening day roster yet? I'm basically using this platform and this microphone after this kid went deep today to say that's done. That's it,
Well,
folks.
he's earned the job.
He's earned it. And if they don't do it, right, then like we're going to go with Peraza on opening day. Fans are going to revolt.
And would you criticize the Yankees in that instance? Let's say they go with
He's
Peraza.
on the 40-man, so I understand the business of it. I understand what they're doing. I think if they sent Volpe down for another year of control and packaged it like, oh, well, Peraza was up here last year. He played for us against the Astros and blah, blah, blah. We'll buy it. But there's going to be some upset fans. These fans need this right now, especially with the injuries. The injuries sucked the air out of the room because it was like every guy that Cashman brought in here, from Rodon to Bader to Trevino to Canley, it's like that's our offseason. They're all hurt.
Yeah, and, unfortunately, that's been a big issue here for the Yankees. Speaking of shilling, Keith and I will get into the Knicks and Nets maybe a little bit later on.